Sarah was a young woman with a dark secret. She lived in a small town on the outskirts of the city, where everyone knew everyone. But despite her friendly demeanor, Sarah was hiding a terrible curse that had plagued her family for generations. It all started with her great-grandmother, who had been accused of practicing witchcraft. The townspeople had burned her at the stake, and ever since then, strange and frightening things had been happening in the town. People reported seeing ghostly figures in the woods at night, and strange noises echoed through the streets. Sarah's family had always known that they were cursed, and they had always tried to keep it a secret. But as Sarah grew older, she started to feel the weight of the curse on her shoulders. She was plagued by nightmares and strange visions, and she knew that it was only a matter of time before the townspeople found out about her family's curse. One night, Sarah was walking home from the local tavern when she heard a strange sound coming from the woods. She cautiously approached the trees, and as she peered into the darkness, she saw the ghostly figure of her great-grandmother. The ghost was beckoning to her, and Sarah knew that she had to follow her. She followed the ghost deep into the woods, and soon she found herself standing in front of a small clearing. In the center of the clearing was a large stone circle, and in the middle of the circle was a dark figure that Sarah could only describe as evil. The figure was surrounded by an aura of darkness, and Sarah could feel the weight of its evil presence. Sarah was frozen with fear, but the ghost of her great-grandmother was beckoning to her again. She stepped into the circle, and as she did, the dark figure suddenly rose up and began to speak. "Sarah, you have been chosen to break the curse that has plagued your family for generations. You must sacrifice yourself to the spirits of the forest, and only then will the curse be lifted." Sarah was terrified, but she knew that she had no choice. She stepped forward, and as she did, the dark figure disappeared and the forest was filled with a bright light. When the light faded, Sarah was gone, and the curse that had plagued her family for generations was finally lifted. From that day on, the townspeople whispered about the strange disappearance of Sarah, and many believed that she had been taken by the spirits of the forest. But they never spoke of the curse that had plagued her family, and it was forgotten in time. Years went by, and the town grew and prospered. People stopped hearing the strange noises in the night, and the ghostly figures disappeared. The forest became a peaceful place, and the townspeople started to forget about the curse that had once plagued their town. But on quiet nights, when the moon was full and the wind was still, the townspeople could hear the ghostly whisper of Sarah's great-grandmother, warning them never to forget the terrible curse that had once plagued their town. Some say that Sarah still haunts the forest to this day, reminding the townspeople of the terrible sacrifice she made to break the curse. And others say that the curse is still lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next victim. But no matter what they believe, the townspeople still remember the tragic story of Sarah and the curse that once plagued their town. They still tell the story to their children, warning them to be careful when wandering in the woods at night, for fear that the curse will be awoken once again. And to this day, the town remains haunted by the memory of Sarah's ghostly curse, a reminder of the dark and terrible history that still haunts their town to this day.